Lefty idiot farms much? Okay, Oregon governor signs new law allowing students to graduate without proving they can read, write, or do math. Shout out to all the viewers out there who, like me, were not particularly good in school anyway. I mean, particularly in math. I sucked. You know, so this isn't disparaging anybody who did shitty in school. I mean, I did shitty in school. But it would appear that they're just passing people just blanketly, even if they can't demonstrate reading ability. That's disturbing. An Oregon high school diploma does not guarantee that students who earn it can read, write, or do math at high school level. Governor Kate Brown dropped the requirement that students demonstrate they have achieved those essential skills by signing Senate Bill 744 into law. She declined again Friday to comment on why she supported suspending the proficiency requirements. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Charles Boyle, the governor, the deputy governor, said the governor's staff told legislative staff the same day governor's blah, 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 blah. Boyle said in an emailed statement that suspending the reading, writing, and math proficiency requirements will benefit, quote, Oregon's Black, Latino, Latina, Latinx, Indigenous, Asian, Pacific Islander, tribal, and students of color. I thought, I don't know, just as a side tangent, I thought that, like, all of this was condensed into the usage of this, right? That's what I was under the impression, like, that this was the gender and racial inclusive, whatever the fuck, or ethnic inclusive, sort of made-up, hippy-dippy, new age language mangling. He added, leaders from the communities have advocated time and time again for equitable graduation standards, along with expanded learning opportunities and support. So just ensuring that none of these people, these Latinx and Blakes, it's primarily Blakes, let's be honest, it's the Blake, people named Blake, and the Latinx, I would say in that order, who are probably the most affected by this measure, and measures like this. You know, again, it's not, I'm not talking about getting like straight A's in school. I'm talking about just being able to demonstrate basic reading comprehension and maybe have read a single adult book in your entire life. Like most of the people in my audience, you know. But, you know, we got bigotry of low expectations here. The only way that they can create equity is by just removing reading proficiency standards. Democrats and legislator... Well, I'll skip ahead a little bit here. Not a fluff. Democrats and legislator overwhelmingly supported ending the long-time proficiency requirement, while Republicans criticized it for lowering academic standards. A couple of lawmakers crossed party lines on the votes. Proponents say the state needed to pause Oregon's high school graduation requirements since 2009, but suspended during the pandemic until the class of 2024 graduates for leaders to re-examine its graduation requirements. It's to, like, decolonize it, right? So it's, like, removing, like, any sort of English instruction. Any English instruction that they do get will be totally Ebonic-ified and internet lingo and have radical lefty sort of ideological gobbledygook and, like, academic gibberish. You know, post-structural, post-colonial, like, anti-patriarchal, you know, they'll say, like, weird-ass shit like that, and that'll be your new English class, which will basically just be lefty, idiot indoctrination factories. Recommendations for new standards are due. Okay, Oregon educational officials have long insisted they would impose new graduation requirements on students who have already begun high school. New requirements would not take effect until the class of 2027. It means at least 5 more classes could graduate without demonstrating proficiency in math and writing. I don't think that Kate Brown really needs to pass any legislation for this to be going on. This is just sort of, you know what I mean, like, reaffirming what we already knew was going on for decades, just sort of at an institute, like, you know what I mean, like, higher institutional level. I mean, they've been saying that it's racist for decades to require non-white students to speak English, you know, to not speak English, to not speak in, like, Ebonics or street slang. Like, they'll say that that's an attack on black culture. Meanwhile, and yeah, and conservatives won't respond properly. They'll say bigotry of low expectations, you're lowering the standard for all these minorities, but it's like, how about the white students that you're subjecting this to? Like, this is how you realize this is how you create juggalos, right? This is how you create, like, this is how you create, like, Slim Shady wannabes, okay? That's what happens when you dumb down the classroom. I don't care about bigotry of low expectations against the Blake students. Like, this is what they fight for and advocate for and burn cities for and tear down monuments of, like, Thomas Jefferson for, right? Is to implement stuff like this. The conservative just doesn't get it. We gotta keep hammering him from the right. But anyway, much of the criticism of the graduation requirements was targeted at standardized tests, which we might be able to agree are kind of bullshit. Oregon, unlike many other states, did not require students to pass a particular standardized test or any test at all. Right, so that's, once again, left is just attacking things that aren't really real, or they're already codified into policy. Students could demonstrate their ability via 5 different tests or complete an in-depth classroom project judged by their own teachers. No notifications went out regarding the governor's signing of the graduation bill. So this bill is probably, the bill itself is probably not too much. It's just, again, reaffirming what we already know, that there's, like, hipster activists in the schools decolonizing the classroom, and basically, like, we're gonna have entire generations that speak an amalgamation of internet lingo, and black and Latinx street slang. And I don't know, man. I don't know what the future's gonna hold. More juggalos, maybe? Probably not. But something not dissimilar to that, where it's like a hipster, like, mixed race Uyghur, not Uyghur, like Uyghur, like juggalo, Slim Shady type. Doesn't sound like too much fun. But anyway, subscribe, donate, share.